Welcome to another Wacky Wednesday with Hailey and Gina on PCC Student Connect. You know what this means? This means it's working. I don't know. Also, I just want to point out, I feel like every Wacky Wednesday, it's kind of getting fruity. I think that's a Hailey thing.
Okay, well.
It is! Last time she made me do weird things with oranges, and then now we're doing lemon.
It's just because they're so relatable, and why not?
Okay, well, they're going to be a grape next week. Squish ya. Sorry, here we go.
I love it. No, but I do like it because, I don't know about you, but my life is kind of full of lemons. You're probably thinking, what does that mean? Basket of lemons, if you will. And I just feel like, I know that this season has just been so tiring. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And honestly, the only relief that I kind of have is that this is only a season. It's only temporary. It can be really hard to keep a positive attitude, especially if we only look at it from a worldly perspective, if we forget that heavenly perspective. The thing is, though, is that we have a God who loves us and is with us no matter what the circumstance is. You guys know that, and we know that, but we just need to be reminded of that.
I want to read a passage to you guys about God's faithfulness. It's Isaiah 43, 1 through 2. But now this says the Lord, He who created you, O Jacob, He who found you, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I call you by name, and you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you.
I feel like that passage is such a great recipe for turning lemons into lemonade. We're going to have Gina reread it, but instead of saying, oh, Jacob and Israel, I want you guys to, in your mind, use your name, and Gina will use hers.
Here we go. But now this, says the Lord, He created you. Oh, Gina, He formed you. Oh, Gina, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you.
It's such a great personal touch that God is with us. He calls us by name, and He will be with us no matter the circumstance, no matter what's going on. And it's important that we remind ourselves the promise of His word, and that God will not abandon us, because Satan and the enemy will love to lie to us and say that we are forgotten, we are abandoned, that He is not going to be with us. And that is why it is so important that we know the truth. See, we can choose to be sour like the world, or we can choose to drink the sweetness of Jesus.
Well, the first requirement is to listen, right? And the second is call to action from God. A verse in Psalms 52 says, God asks us to call upon Him for help. A cup of lemon juice is sour and bitter, and no one wants to drink it by itself. Lemons don't become lemonade until we add some sweetness, like Gina. Just teasing. When we add some sweetness, God is the difference that changes our hearts from the sorrowful to the sweetness. I wanted to show you guys really quick how simple and what we're talking about. So Hailey's gonna help me. I'm gonna try this. Here we go. Can you see? I'm gonna get lemons. I'm gonna cut them in half. Cutting my lemons in half. We're gonna put the jar here, and I'm gonna make some lemonade. These lemons are like funky.
Yes, I did want to point that out, and I think this is so relevant. Okay, so some of you guys can see these lemons are really ugly looking. This one is ginormous. It's practically the size of my face.
Look at that lemon.
Some of these lemons are really small. These are basically representing our circumstances. And people, we have different sizes or different issues. Some of our circumstances might look really ugly on the outside, or
mine are really small and cute. Hailey gets the big, bulky, looky ones.
Probably right. But either way, they're still lemons. They're still sour. It's still not delicious.
I'm gonna try this. Hang on.
Ooh.
Yuck.
It's not good. It's not good at all.
So we're gonna show you how to add some sweetness. There is a pitcher right there behind you, Hailey. And this has warm water. So we're gonna take the warm water, and instead of just putting the lemon juice, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put about this much sugar in it, right? That's like, we should have that much of Jesus in our life. Not just a little bit, but a lot. And you gotta stir it up, right? We want God to be all throughout our life, right? We want it to dissolve. So God and us become one. So see, now you have that, and it's sugar water. But don't you fret, sweetness with sour. You wanna try it?
Looks like a good batch of lemonade. Wow, that is good. And we just want you guys to know that we are not perfect either. We can say that we are definitely much better than we have been. And we also have lemons in our lives. We are striving every day to draw closer to Jesus, to find our comfort in Him, to find our sweetness in Him when life does turn sour. And know that we're not alone, and the season that we go through really can help us grow and can bring out more of that sweetness too, if we so choose to.
I want you guys to think about what situation possibly is making you a little sour, right? Just it could be a little one, or it could be a huge, weird, funky thing that's making you sour, right? No matter what, we all have little things that we struggle with that work against us, that try to make us sour. So we want to encourage you to think about that. And then think about, how have you been handling this difficult, sorrowful season? Do you just drink it and say, I'm stuck with it? Or do you turn to God and try to get the sweetness and the truth to help you process through that? So we want to ask you, are you guys ready to make some lemonade?
Thanks for joining us for a Wacky Wednesday. Let us know if you try to make some lemonade, see how it turns out, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.